Okay, the topic of this video is about should you come over to Thailand? Like, would you do okay to live here in Thailand at a young age? So, this video is for people that are under, say, 35. I came over here when I was 38. Uh, Having been here as long as I have now, I wish I would have come over when I was 21 and I had just escaped the Air Force. I wish I would have had I wish I would have known somebody here who was living here who could have told me something about it. I could have talked on the phone or even wrote a letter or something and found out something about it and had the confidence that I would be able to stay here and make money and live a life, more so than live a life uh, with more freedom, with more enjoyment than I did in the USA. I noticed that most of my followers on YouTube are, what was it, like 21 to 25 and 25 to 30, something like that, but mostly around 25 years old. If you're watching this video and you're around 25 years old and you're thinking about coming to Thailand, you got to do it. This place is paradise compared to wherever you are. I don't know where you are, but I know people from Ireland here. I know people from the UK, Australia, Belgium, Germany, Switzerland, USA, Canada, long-term stays. I mean, they've been here for years, for decades. Why? Because it's just so damn nice. I mean, seriously, like, to compare here versus America is just ridiculous. As far as quality of life, I guess you could say, sort of. I mean, the quality of this place that we live in is supposed to be nice, right? It's not. You can see it's just like a regular, just have like townhouse type thing. But it's not well put together. I've said in some other videos, it's the building code is, there probably is one that nobody follows it. They couldn't possibly follow it. Uh, there's like water-based grout in the showers that wears away eventually. Of course, it's water-based. What do you think's in the shower? Anyway, like stuff like that. I don't mean that kind of quality of life. I mean the kind of quality of life where you wake up in the morning, if you're not working, basically when you want. You've scheduled your online classes if you have that. If you're doing online teaching or something, which a lot of people do, you schedule them for when you wake up, after you get ready to go. You don't have to do anything special. Your online classes that only pay you something like, what do my friends make? $15 to $18 an hour, I think, which is more than enough for them to support themselves. So one friend, he said something like, if he only makes 2,000 baht a day, he's happy. He's really happy. I think if he makes 1,500 or 1,000, he's pretty happy too. Because he has a small place, so maybe a little smaller than this. Um, has his daughter, his wife separated from him. He's working a couple hours a day, say 3 or 4. That's enough. That's what he needs. It's actually way more than he needs. He just bought a new car because he smashed his old one. He's probably getting money from home. It doesn't make any sense that he was able to buy the car, and he has a nice motorbike. And he's thinking about going back to home. I was talking to him yesterday. He's probably getting money from home. But especially if you have money at home, if you have money from home, from parents, from grandparents, there's a number of people I know that are living off parents and grandparents here, even older people. Why? Because the money went to our grandparents and our parents. It didn't come to us. Not yet. It's going to be transferred. But, you know, if you're sitting at home in Pennsylvania any state in the US, the UK, which I think must be far worse, just my own guess. Canada, which I've been to, is beautiful, but it's not a lot going on there. If you're sitting back in one of these places and you're asking yourself, like, could I actually make it there? You can make it here. Many people ask, oh, do I have to have the degree? I have to have a college degree in order to teach there, right? No, you don't. It doesn't matter what people have said online. I see it all the time. Yes, you must have a TESOL, a TEFL. I don't have either. You must have a degree from a institution. You must have your transcript and all of this. No, you don't need it. At every school, you don't need it. I've seen it so many times. I just work with two French guys who don't even have degrees at all. One guy, I don't even think he has the right visa to be in the country. He couldn't possibly. But I just worked with them at a school. They're still teaching. They've been teaching for 6 years. One guy for 6 years, one guy for 8+ years. Can you do it? Yes. Do you need a degree? No. Can you print a degree from somewhere? Yes. Sometimes you have to fake it, to make it. Nah. Sometimes you have to print a degree that you buy somewhere. You just get somebody to Photoshop with your name on it, and that's enough. That's what I have a friend here. I'm pretty damn sure that's what he did. I don't think he graduated, but everybody does it. It doesn't really matter. The second school I worked at, Assumption in I won't say where, because maybe I'm saying something bad about them by saying this. But I knew 1, 2, 3 people there that did not have degrees. What did they do? Went to Khao San Road. This is before internet was so big, Now you just do it online. They went to Khao San Road in Bangkok, got a fake degree, and that was it. They paid I don't even remember, $50, $75 or something, which you don't need to pay that much now. You do it online and print it out. So you can't use that as an excuse. You can come here and teach without a degree. You don't need an English degree at all. And if you have any degree at all, just come here and teach. It's not that difficult. Most of the schools by now, they've already worked with foreigners and they don't like us. I see that now after I haven't taught for 13, oh no, more than that. I haven't taught for 15 years. And now recently I just taught for a year. And I see the difference. The difference is they don't have any tolerance for us anymore. They don't want to hear our conflicting opinions. They don't want to ask us in meetings, what do you think? They don't care, because what we think is completely different from what they think. We're just slowing down their little process that goes nowhere, but we're slowing it down, and we're just adding confusion and adding BS to their system that doesn't work at all. Because we're trying to help, right? We really care about the kids and trying to get them to learn in a better way, maybe learn more or whatever, learn something relevant, instead of what they're learning. So they don't want to deal with us at all anymore. So you know what happens? It makes it very easy for us. I just taught at this school. It was the easiest thing I ever did in my life. Well, COVID made it even easier. But even if I had to go in every day and teach, it was the easiest thing ever. I never had one teacher question anything that I did, ever. Why? Because when they need you at a school, they just want things to go smoothly. It's Thai culture, right? That everything goes smoothly. There's no confrontation, none of that. They don't want that. So never had anybody question one thing I did. If I made mistakes, nobody ever said, oh, you screwed that up. Never. I watched the teachers, so you co-teach, which means you sit in a room with the Thai teacher and she teaches, and then you kind of help, like if you have to check the books or whatever, or if she needs some help. They never do, because they're so good at finishing up on their own. They never need you. Mine didn't. Maybe they were afraid to ask me to do something. I don't know. I sat back there and wrote fishing articles for my website. I taught, what did I teach? 13 hours a week? 13 hours. That was it. That was at the most. Initially, I was teaching 10, I think. Is that how it went? I think initially I was teaching 10 hours a week for the first term. Second term, 13, because we added computer class. And I said I would do it. I didn't feel, overworked by any means. And I said, yeah, I'll do it. So, super easy. You can make, so I made 45,000 baht for a month. Supposed to be more because there was supposed to be after school classes. That only happened 1 month. Then COVID came. Nobody did after school classes at all. So 45,000 is roughly what? Almost, it's probably $1,400. But that was okay. For a family, I got 5 people here. Me and 4 people and a cat. And it was okay. We have money from other stuff, online, but we didn't necessarily need to use it. Could have saved it, and we did some of it. So, coming to Thailand, let me try to explain the difference to you. In America, I woke up, this is after I got my degrees and everything, right? Woke up 6 o'clock, maybe before 6. Hurried up, got showered, drank coffee, made something to eat, or went to McDonald's through the drive-thru if I had enough time. Got egg McMuffins or pancakes or both, because that's what we do in America. We eat like pigs. And I went to my job, which was in tech. I'll just talk about this one job. So I went to a job in tech. I was a webmaster there and SEO. Doing SEO. This was 1998 and 99. And stayed there all day for 9 hours. Went home, exercised at the gym. Probably went out with somebody, or somebody came to my house or something. Watched a movie or something, and that was it. Woke up and did it again the next day. On the weekend, I went fishing. Now, I didn't have a hard life in America, right? But the difference is that here you wake up whenever you want because you're working online probably. If you're working at a school, you got to be there by 8 o'clock. So you have plenty of time. You can get up at 7, get there by 8. You have an hour for lunch. They feed you for lunch. You only teach maybe 3 classes a day on average, which make 15 hours a week. If you're teaching 22 hours or more, I got to tell you, you're in the wrong school. You got to get out. Unless you love it, there's no reason to be teaching 22 hours a week. It's a lot. 4 o'clock, you go home. 4 o'clock, I usually went home, changed clothes, went to the park, worked out for like an hour or more. Came home, ate with my family, took my kids out somewhere, or went to shopping or something, but the level of stress is way less. When I got into my car or I got in my motorbike, I never once thought, damn, I'm going to get a ticket, I'm going too fast. Never once in my head did I ever think that. Why? Because they don't check. There's no police standing there with radar guns in Krabi. Just doesn't happen. Every now and then you see the cameras up above, to shoot pictures of speeders. Like they have the radar and stuff up. I guess I don't know if they do or not, but I never got anything in the mail, so I don't worry about it at all. In Bangkok, some other places apparently they do it every now and then, so you have to think about it. But in small towns, no, they're not gonna go through the effort, and nobody's gonna pay them anyway. Who's gonna check up on that? Nobody does. I mean, there's just there's no accountability, which is, it's absolutely nice, right? There's no like parking tickets. There's no like, the seatbelt ticket is if they stop you on the motorbike or in the car, they give you a fine. You paid the fine there before you leave. There's no like ticket coming in the mail later. So if they want the money, they'll do like that. Uh, in the 17 plus years I've been here, how many times have I paid a parking ticket or a ticket for not having a registration or not even having a motorcycle license for years I didn't have? Uh, for something like that, how many times did I pay 500 baht? Probably, oh, Phuket was just horrible one time. Probably about 20 times. So I probably paid 10,000 baht in fines in 17 years, which is about $300, which in America would be more like $3,000, I'm sure, maybe way more, maybe 10 times that. Holy cow, it could have been a lot more than that. The average ticket in America just for not having a seatbelt is huge. Anyway, I don't think about that. I don't think about I don't think about health insurance that much. We do pay it now, so I pay it for me and my kids, so it's over $200 a month. So that's something of a stress. That's the only real stress I have. Car insurance, we pay once a year. It's something like 2,000 baht or something. Something ridiculous. We have an old car, and they're not even going to replace our car if we crash it, but it does cover like bodily injury and stuff for us and for the other people. So that's not a concern at all. Speeding ticket, not a concern. Going through stop sign, not a concern. Going through red light, not a concern. I've never seen anybody stop for going through a red light. Just never happens. Cop will be sitting there at the light too. What do they get? They don't do anything. I don't know if they think they don't get paid to do something or what. Crime here is super low. Our villa was broken into one time when I first, within the first couple years of being here in Krabi. They took my saltwater fishing reels, took an old video camera I had. That was it. That's all I had. But they took it, and that was it. That's never had anybody break into anything again. We've been here 17 years. Lived in all kind of places. Lived in probably 20 different places. Everybody saw the foreigner come and live in the house. They knew the foreigner probably has more than they have. Nobody broke in. Yeah, I do Kali stick fighting out in front of the house, with these sticks, and maybe that helps to let people know they better not come in the house because I have like machetes and stuff, and I'll stick them in their head. But I don't know. I don't hear that friends are getting broken into either. It used to happen a lot when cell phones started to break out. Like everybody had to have a nice cell phone. This is about 10 years ago, maybe. Just when Motorola came out with that touchscreen phone, and I had that. It was operating system, and it was amazing. And I knew, man, the next few phones that come out, and then they had iPhone come out, and that was awesome. That was levels above that phone that I had, but I couldn't afford it at the time. Or maybe I could, but I didn't want to buy it. I was like, oh, that's way too much money. Anyway, we started to have a lot of break-ins then. People wanted those phones. After that, not really. It just kind of faded away. I haven't heard it again. What else? Disease and stuff. Yeah, chikungunya, malaria, dengue fever. I mean, I've had dengue 3 times. It's not that big a deal if you're healthy already, Chikungunya I had. It's not that big a deal. Hurts a bit for a few months. Your bones, like your joints and tendons and stuff, but you'll get over it. Really, I mean, the stress level that I have from living here is just so little. I think I'm losing my light completely. I'm standing in the dark. So anyway, I just hope that if you're young, one of my regrets in life, not a regret really, because I really would have had no idea, but one of the things I think about in my life, I've had a hell of a life, first of all. I mean, a hell of a life. Because I knew I was going to have all my fun until I was about 50, and then I was going to get serious and make money. So that's what I'm doing. But the first 50, well, the first 40 years were just outrageous, just great fun. Really had a great life. But I think, man, if I would have came over here at 25 years old, 23, 22, 21, oh my God. I mean, so it's the cost of living, right? It's the amount of work you do that can allow you to afford whatever that you have here is way less. So it's way less stress. In America, I was like kicking my ass like to make over $100,000, and at some point I was making way over $100,000, but I wasn't happy inside, and that's why I left. You don't have that here. Like you make enough, and then it's pretty good. You're just pretty satisfied. And if you make a lot more, there's not that much to spend it on. So, because nobody else really has that much more either. So you could save it or whatever. When you're young and you're a guy, I just know as a guy, sex is like a huge concern for you, right? In the States. Huge. I mean, that's all that was on my mind for the first 30 years, 35 years of my life was sex. I don't know why, high testosterone, I don't understand. Anyway, not everybody's like that. I was addicted to sex for sure. And it's very difficult in America to get as much sex as you want, isn't it? Probably. I don't know. I might be a nutcase. Anyway, you come over here at 22, 23, you're going to be satiated. You're going to be, it's not a concern anymore, believe me. There's a whole different outlook here. It isn't seen as like something that, there's no religion that tells you that it's wrong to do at any age, or if you're not married or anything like that. It's up to the people that are involved. The people are very open. It's not even a big deal to have sex here. It's not. It's at a whole different level. Like in America, like it's a real concern for you and for the women, right? The women don't want to be seen having too much sex, and here it's the concern is like here. There's very little. It's almost a non-concern. It doesn't even matter. Just that alone, I would have moved instantly. I would I would have sold everything I have just to come here immediately. I didn't even like Asian girls at that time. Uh, didn't really care for them or not care for them. I mean, it wasn't like a priority at all. But it's another way that you can live your life with less stress, right? Just to come here. And it's the same. It doesn't mean it's just Thailand. It would be the same in Taiwan, Japan, Cambodia, Burma, Malaysia. Did I miss something? Philippines, of course. It would be the same at any of those places about sex, right? What else could I tell you? I would just encourage you to come. Make it work however you got to make it work. Save $10,000 US and come. $10,000, you can come and make a little bit of money while you're here over the course of a year and still live okay. You're not going to live high off the hog or whatever they say, but you'll be okay. Better if you save 12,000. You have 30,000 baht a month. Well, you'll have more because the dollar's worth more now. Probably $35,000 baht a month, and that's plenty to just stay and experience the culture, live at a meaningful life, just meaningful level. and enjoy life. Just try it for a year. Anyway, I hope that encourages somebody to do it. And if it does, please leave a message so I know, because it would be awesome if I could convince somebody to do it. All right, cheers.